If you ever watched a movie and thought, why does this movie feel empty now? You're not imagining it, and you're definitely not alone. That's exactly why this video exists. For years, fans have felt something was off. Stories didn't hit the way they used to. Hollywood keeps spending more money and telling fewer meaningful stories. Meanwhile, anime keeps dropping emotional nukes that shake the whole world. So, how did Hollywood lose its audience? And why did anime gain the audience's trust? Today, I'm breaking down why. Because you deserve honesty. You deserve storytelling with soul again. And you deserve someone who actually grew up in this culture, not someone analyzing it from a distance. There was a time when stories existed just to make us feel, to escape, and to imagine. But somewhere along the way, storytelling became a battlefield. Battlegrounds for ideology, politics, and public approval. If you grew up geeking out about anime, comic books, or movies and got side-eyed for it back in the day, yeah, well, fellow nerds, this one's for you. So I decided to do this video because I want to talk about something that shaped who I am and why I even started this whole YouTube journey in the first place. And that's pop culture and anime. You know, for me, pop culture was never just about entertainment. It was the mirror that showed us who we are, our dreams, our struggles, the crazy world we live in. It was a fantasy world to take us away from the everyday struggles of life. I started to talk about it online because I realized every comic, movie, or anime has something deeper. It reflects our generation's mindset. When people talk about pop culture, they usually just focus on the surface, the hype, the trends, the numbers. But I wanted to dig into the why. Why does a story like Grave of the Fireflies hit so hard emotionally? Why do movies like Star Wars, Breakfast Club, The Matrix, and Harry Potter define a spirit for a generation? That why is what hooked me. Something has been changing entertainment for years. Why politics and social messaging have infected storytelling, and more importantly, what we've lost along the way. Before hashtags and algorithms, stories had freedom. Writers weren't trying to fit into agendas, they were chasing ideas. A theme could challenge you, disturb you, or even contradict your worldview, and that was the point. Take The Matrix. On the surface, it's a sci-fi action film about humans rebelling against machines, but underneath, it's about identity, reality, faith, and free will. No one told you what to believe. You brought your own meaning to it. Same with Lord of the Rings. It wasn't written as a political manifesto. It was about courage, corruption, and the cost of power. Yet people from every side of the political spectrum could find their own reflection in it. Now, anime did this too. Cowboy Bebop explored loneliness and purpose without needing to declare a stance. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood tackled ethics, science, and grief, not through slogans, but through pain. These stories connected because they were human first, not political first. They trusted emotion to carry the message, not messaging to carry the emotion. Storytelling used to trust the audience to interpret. They didn't spoon-feed meaning, they invited you to find it. Now, it's like the audience is being told what to believe. I got into this because I wanted to connect the dots between what we watch, what we listen to, and who we're becoming as a culture. Over the past decade, something shifted. Studios and creators started focusing less on the story itself and more on the message behind it. Movies stopped being just art. They became statements. Every script, every reboot, every casting choice suddenly carried a political headline. Now, don't get me wrong, storytelling has always reflected politics. From Orwell to V for Vendetta, art has challenged power. But now, it's not rebellion, it's corporate activism. Every movie, every series, every reboot feels like it's carrying a checklist. Representation, slogans, ideology, instead of soul. Now, don't get it twisted. Representation matters, diversity matters, but authentic representation comes from the truth, not tokenism. When Black Panther dropped, it didn't need to tell you its importance. It was important. It had heart, authenticity, and mythic storytelling. But what came after felt very different. Hollywood realized people would support movies out of solidarity, not necessarily storytelling. And so the balance shifted. Art became a vehicle for messaging, not meaning. And the tragedy? When you design a story around a message, you lose the human truth that gives that message meaning in the first place. So take Star Wars, The Last Jedi, or The Rise of Skywalker. Instead of exploring myth and morality, we got studio battles about identity and marketing narratives. The soul of Star Wars, mythic heroism, and spiritual awakening got buried under corporate self-consciousness. And yeah, take a look at Little Mermaid 2023, Snow White 2025, The Marvels 2023. Films that leaned on diversity in marketing but forgot the foundation. A good story first. When your story becomes a campaign, it stops being an art form. Because real art doesn't lecture. It provokes. It doesn't tell you what to feel. It makes you wrestle with your feelings. Now, you, I, the audience, we're not stupid. We can feel when a story's genuine and when it's manufactured. People don't reject diversity or politics in stories. They reject dishonesty. When a film or show starts to sound more like a press release than a human conversation, we disconnect. That's why indie creators and anime have exploded, because they still dare to tell the truth through pain, not through slogans. Anime especially isn't afraid of contradiction. It can celebrate life one moment and question existence the next. It's messy, emotional, real. When Demon Slayer came out, nobody advertised it as a statement. It was about family, loss, resilience, universal themes, but it connected globally because it earned emotion. Same with Attack on Titan. It's filled with political allegory, oppression, fear, nationalism, but it never tells you who's right. It leaves you wrestling with your own morality. Compare that to certain modern Western shows that push one-sided messaging, where every villain fits a predictable mold and every protagonist exists to represent something rather than be something. Now, modern blockbusters that feel more like a statement than a story, we walked out not inspired, but lectured and talked down to. So why did storytelling get infected? It's a mix of three things: corporate pressure, social validation, and algorithmic thinking. Creative fear. Writers and directors are scared to take risks, not artistically, socially. One wrong tweet, one misunderstood theme, and their careers could be over. So they self-censor. They flatten their stories into safe, agreeable content. The result? Bland, forgettable storytelling that offends no one and inspires no one. Algorithmic storytelling. Social media and streaming data now shape narratives. Executives track what hashtags trend, what moral stances go viral, and tailor scripts around that. It's not what story needs to be told anymore. It's what stance will trend. You can feel it in the writing. Every line sounds like it was crafted to go viral on X or TikTok, not live forever in your soul. The illusion of inclusion, representation turned into a checkbox exercise. Instead of writing deep, complex characters from diverse backgrounds, we get shallow archetypes built around buzzwords. And it's a shame, because diversity in truthful storytelling is powerful. Look at Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse. That movie wasn't diversity for optics. It was diversity through authenticity. Miles Morales felt real. His story had heart, and it resonated universally. That's what happens when representation grows out of story, not story out of representation. We stopped asking, what truth can this story reveal? And started asking, what message will people share on social media? The cost is creativity itself. And that's how sincerity died. The divide we see online, people fighting over films and shows, it's not just about politics. It's about trust. People don't trust stories anymore. They look modern, but feel very hollow. And the audience senses that hollowness because they don't feel told by humans. Audiences are starving for complexity again, for flawed characters, conflicting emotions, and moral mystery. That's why Breaking Bad and The Terminalist hit so hard, because they dared to show human nature unfiltered. But wait, everyone, here's the light in the dark. The rebellion is already happening. Independent creators, YouTubers, animators, writers, they're taking storytelling back. They're making work that's raw, personal, and dangerous. And that's the very spirit I built Diabolical Souls Presents on. I'm here to remind people that the real purpose of art isn't to preach. It's to reflect the chaos honestly, to tell the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, because only then can stories heal us, challenge us, and make us human again. To bring back the soul in storytelling, to talk about art that questions, not conforms. Because great stories don't divide, they reveal the truth. They help us see each other, flaws and all. So, to every creator watching this, stop trying to make art that pleases everyone. Make something that means something. So why is anime taking over? Because take a look around. Anime isn't just cartoons. It's a global storytelling powerhouse that can make you laugh, cry, and question reality, all in a single episode. Anime isn't just for the fans anymore. It's everywhere. Netflix, Crunchyroll, collabs with Gucci, songs topping charts. Anime has officially left the underground. But here's the real reason why to watch anime. Anime tells unfiltered stories, emotional, raw, and unapologetically human. And honestly, it's also about timing. This generation is more global than ever. We don't care where a story comes from, as long as it's real and powerful. While Hollywood's been playing it safe, anime's been exploring everything from trauma and resilience to identity and hope. One of the biggest misconceptions about anime is that it's just animated shows. But in reality, anime is a medium, not a genre. It covers everything: action, romance, horror, sci-fi, slice of life, sports, even politics. Shows like Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, Solo Leveling, Attack on Titan, and Chainsaw Man, they're not just action. They're philosophy, emotion, and visual storytelling combined. And that's why even people who don't watch anime find themselves binge watching it now. Because the stories are built slowly over episodes, sometimes hundreds. You grow with the characters. Their struggles feel personal. Their victories feel earned. But anime isn't just about all that. It's also a doorway into Asian cultures and storytelling traditions. It reflects value like perseverance, honor, teamwork, and emotional growth. But it's not just the Japanese and Asian cultures. Anime has gone global. Fans from every country connect over their shared themes. That's power of the universal storytelling. Unlike most live action shows, anime isn't bound by reality. A single scene can go from calm to god-tier battle in seconds. The visual creativity is insane. With studios like Madhouse, Production IG, MAPPA, Studio Ghibli, Kyoto Animation, and Bones Studios, they all bring unique art styles, smooth animation, and symbolism. They can express complex emotions without even saying a single word. Anime isn't just something you watch. It's something you share. The community is massive, passionate, and global. Whether you're discussing plot twists, shipping your favorite couple, or screaming over a cliffhanger, there's always someone out there who gets it. That sense of belonging is part of the magic. Do you think anime isn't for you? Trust me, there's something for every taste. You love thrillers? Try Death Note. Romance? Toradora. Epic fantasy? Attack on Titan. Comedy? One Punch Man. Once you find that first anime that clicks, it opens a whole new world. Many people don't expect anime to be motivational, but it can be life-changing. It's filled with characters who never give up, who push through pain, who fight for what matters. These aren't just fictional moments. For many fans, they're reminders to just keep going in real life. Some people still think anime is just for kids or nerds. But guess what? Anime is mainstream now. Celebrities watch it. Adults binge it. Kids grow up with it. You just need to give it a chance. Anime isn't just entertainment. It's art. It's an emotion. It's a community. And maybe it's exactly what you need right now. So that's why I do what I do here. This channel isn't just about reviews or reactions. It's about understanding the culture behind the content. Whether it's anime, comics, or film, I want to explore what it says about us. And that's what Diabolical Souls is about. Unfiltered thought, cultural honesty, and the reminder that real art never needs permission to be real. If that's your vibe too, if you believe stories can shape society, then you're in the right place. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who's still on the fence. Enjoy the world of anime and become a member of the Gooch Gang at Diabolical Souls Presents. Stay Gucci.